Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Maryland Department of Health, in partnership with the Prince George's County Health Department, welcome to the Educators and Cultivators Back to School event. I am Sydney Collins, CEO of Perfect Timing Podcast, and I am your MC for today's event. On behalf of the Governor of Maryland, the Maryland National Guard, and all of our participating partners, I would like to thank everyone for the participation today and coming out here to this incredible event. We could not do this without you. As a 16-year-old, I saw within myself that it was my responsibility to get the vaccine. I can learn more information in getting the vaccine and spreading it with my peers and family to let them know that it is safe and that as a community we need to step forward. For me, I saw the vaccine as the light at the end of the tunnel of this road that we call COVID. Because I knew that my participation would be a huge step for our country, taking the step to get the vaccine is probably the best thing that you can do. At my age, I was exhausted going on the news and reading and seeing all these things about people passing away from the new COVID variant every day, and most of which are listed as unvaccinated. And it tears me up to know that it could have been prevented. As Americans, I think as a community that we can all get vaccinated and that we can all do our part in the community and bring us forward to a better future and new hope. We have lost well over 500,000 Americans to COVID-19, and I think that we can cut that number, and I think that getting the vaccine and stepping forward would be the best. As I wrap up my anecdote for you all this morning, I implore that you all get vaccinated, and that if you are unable, please share with others to do so as well, and do their part in their community. At this time, I would like to introduce and welcome Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford and invite him to share some words about today's event and the efforts taken by Maryland against COVID.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Ms. Collins, it was wonderful to see you here this morning. I'm going to disclose some of your information. You're 16 years old, I understand. Wow, the future is great, and it's in great hands. Well, I'm pleased to join you here for the Educators and Cultivators Back to School Bash here at FedEx Field to celebrate the safe and exciting start of the 2021-22 school year. I want to thank our many esteemed partners and community members that made today's event, as well as the safe return to school possible. I want to recognize General Janine Burkhead of the Maryland National Guard. She has led the Vaccine Equity Task Force throughout the pandemic. Yes, she deserves that. And I didn't see his, yes, he's here. Maryland State Superintendent of Schools, Mohammed Chaudhry, is here. Our new superintendent, thank you. I should look up, I was about to say, I didn't see him here, and I'm looking right at him. So, also, Secretary James Fielder of the Maryland Higher Education Commission, thank you. Prince George's County Schools CEO, Dr. Monica Goldson, thank you very much for being here. And representatives from our Maryland Department of Health and the Prince George's County Health Department as well for all the hard work that they have done over the last year or more, 18 months or so. The last time I was here, we were here in the stadium back on May 13th, where we were recognizing the faith community and their dedication and commitment to delivering COVID-19 vaccines to their communities. You know, the willingness of Marylanders, and I was just talking about the fact that Marylanders have been willing to roll up their sleeves to educate others about the safety and efficacy of the vaccines, and it has really made a difference in our state. Just last week, I had an opportunity to participate in a program that was in another state, and some of my colleagues from other states were telling me about the challenges that they're facing. And while we have challenges here, it is not anything near what some of my colleagues from Louisiana and Oklahoma are facing today. I'm happy to say that 79% of adults in Maryland have received at least one dose of COVID vaccine. More than 3.6 million Marylanders are fully vaccinated. And when it comes to our young people, 62% of those children between the ages of 12 and 17 have received at least one dose of the Pfizer vaccine, and over 50% of them are fully vaccinated. Now, we continue to make vaccines readily available throughout our communities at community-based sites, pharmacies, mobile clinics, and the health departments and various counties around the state to help protect our friends and family from COVID-19. Particularly as we prepare now for the start of the school year, we're holding back-to-school clinics throughout the state, including 9 at Prince George's County schools. Last week, we also launched the Don't Wait, Vaccinate, a public health campaign to encourage parents and guardians to make sure that their children get caught up on those routine immunizations. You know, make sure your kid is up to, I guess I should say child, not kid, but your child is updated in their immunizations to keep them healthy and make sure that they're inside the classroom learning. When it comes to getting Marylanders vaccinated, each one here today plays a critical role in helping us to make sure that we continue to move the change down the field. That's a football metaphor for those who are not aware of that. You know, I'm proud of our students and the adults that are looking after them for everything that they've been able to accomplish during this pandemic. Keeping this sense of normalcy and keeping everyone around us healthy depends on us getting as many people vaccinated as possible. Vaccines are safe, they're effective in preventing severe illness, and they're readily available today at many locations around the state at no cost. The virus does not discriminate, and it is proven that those who are vaccinated handle COVID-19 a lot better than those who are not vaccinated. If you are eligible to be vaccinated but have not, I encourage you to sign up and get vaccinated today before you leave. If you cannot receive a vaccine, it is very important that you continue to wear a mask so that you can help reduce the spread of COVID and the variants. If you know someone who is unvaccinated, give them a call and encourage them to get vaccinated as well. I was mentioning earlier that, you know, unfortunately, I have friends that I grew up with who are still refusing to get the vaccine, and I try not to really pound on them and, you know, be too aggressive with them, but they do at least understand that I care about them. And that's what I say to them. And I give them the statistics, the data that I see with regard to those who are in the hospital now. The vast majority of them are unvaccinated. The people who are dying, the vast majority of them are unvaccinated. And particularly talk about the age groups, because as you can tell by the fact that I don't have any hair, and the hair that I do have is gray, and my eyes are so red, I am over 60 years old. So I tell them about the data associated with some of us who are a little older. Now, before I go, I want to stress to our students that you're growing up in a changing world and will one day graduate from a world that is very different than it is today. Everything you do now, every math problem that you work on, every book that you read, every music lesson you have, an extracurricular activity, is helping you prepare for success in the future. All of the things that you do now is preparation for a future that you really can't imagine at this point in your life. Those of us, and those of us who are, you know, of any age beyond, I guess, 20, you know, remember when we were kids that the world we live in today is vastly different than what it was. The things that we have available, the little computers in our pockets that we can talk to people around the world and actually see their face, was something that just several years ago was not available. And so the world will be different, but everything you do today is preparing you for that future. So enjoy it and always do your best. And I wish everyone a healthy and successful new school year. And before I leave, I do want to thank the Washington football team for hosting us here again today. And again, thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor. At this time, I would like to welcome the Prince George's County Public Schools Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Monica Goldson.
Good morning. It is hard to believe that we're 22 days away from back to school. For me, feels like Christmas because I have the opportunity to welcome over 136,000 students back into our schoolhouse. But we have to do that safely. And the best way to do that is to ensure every person over the age of 12 and up has the opportunity to receive their COVID-19 vaccination along with their required immunizations. As Lieutenant Governor Rutherford shared with you, we're in a great position in Maryland, but we're not at a point where we are so close to 90, 100% that we can begin the process of removing our mask. And so for me, it is incumbent upon me to share with you the importance of making sure children who are 12 and older and their parents and family members get the COVID-19 vaccination. While you are getting your backpacks and school uniforms, notebooks, and pencils, we too need you to still also get that vaccination. And we have gone one step further in Prince George's County, and that is to require that all staff members will also receive the vaccination or will be tested weekly. That's 19,000 employees that I want to make sure are in our schoolhouses daily and are safe around your children. I look forward to seeing our students on September 8th. I look forward to seeing the smiles on our parents' faces as you move your children out of your homes after being in them for 16 months. And I look forward to the end of the school year where we all start the same way we end, but with more students vaccinated. Let's have an amazing school year, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Dr. Monica. At this time, I would like to welcome Dr. Demetrius Johnson of Bowie State University.
Greetings. My name is Demetrius Johnson. I'm representing Dr. Amita Bro, the best president of any college anywhere in the world, Bowie State University. Thank you all for your warm welcome. And as we know, COVID-19 has impacted nearly every part of our modern life, from schools, churches, and athletic events, even the way we shop. COVID-19 has forced us to cover our faces and stand 3 to 6 feet away from one another. Many of us have spent the last 18 months separated from grandparents or loved ones. What COVID-19 could not take away and could not destroy was our love and our care for one another. Well, while many of us may have been teleworking for some of that time, we should also remember that we spent more time at the park with our children. Many of us slowed down enough to make a phone call or a FaceTime with a friend with whom we hadn't spoken in years. So COVID, in fact, did take a lot. But it didn't take away or destroy our hearts, our love, our care, or our devotion to one another. I submit that the vaccines are an extension of that love and care. Each of us has the opportunity to change the world. The vaccines give all of us the power to save lives. Saying yes to the vaccine not only helps us reopen schools, churches, and stadiums, but becoming vaccinated slows hospitalizations and death, not just for the individual who has taken that vaccine, but for your family, for your church, and for your community. It is not often that a single act by each of us can so easily help all of us. At Bowie State University, we will open fully this fall with in-person classes, with children and parents coming on move-in day to unload and unpack to start the college experience. And by the way, we have a fantastic football team that will start to play and build us to our homecoming in October. Each of the members of the Bulldog family right now are doing their part by simply saying yes to the vaccine. This is the moment for all of us, the moment for each of us, the moment where one by one we decide to change the world. Thank you to all of the leadership, from the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor, Prince George's County executives, the health departments, the National Guard. Thank you mostly to all of you for taking a shot and changing the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I would like to welcome Prince George's County Health Department Health Officer, Dr. Ernest Carter.
Thank you. I would like to just say I'm here on behalf of the county executive. She would have loved to have been here, and my remarks will be her remarks and my remarks at the same time. So good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here, especially with the Lieutenant Governor, with our Superintendent, Monica Goldson, and everyone who's on stage and you all. I just want to thank the state for their continued support in our efforts to fight COVID and this pandemic. I also want to take a moment to thank the Maryland National Guard and the Vaccine Equity Task Force, including Brigadier General Burkhead, for their continued work helping to equitably distribute the COVID-19 vaccine to our Prince George's County residents. That has been such a remarkable thing for us and a great help. I also want to thank our county health department, which I'm the head of, because they work so hard and tirelessly to make sure that every day our citizens are safe. I want to acknowledge all of the agencies and organizations that have come together to make today possible, and I want to welcome all of our special guests that are with us today. And finally, I want to thank the residents of Prince George's County. I'm proud to be here in Prince George's County. All of these people and organizations gathered here today are an example of how much stronger we are when we work together. And since the very beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, from helping deliver food and supplies to those in need, to helping our children adjust to distance learning, you have understood that we will only make it through these hard times by looking out for each other. I know that the last 18 months has been tough. The pandemic hit the county really, really hard. Our residents listened to the counsel that our health experts, including me, what I'm really appreciative of. I'm really appreciative of the fact that you listened. And now we were among the top 3% among counties in the nation in terms of social distance practicing. That makes me extremely proud. When the COVID-19 vaccine was developed, it became our mission to ensure every resident of Prince George's County has the opportunity to receive the vaccine. Our partnership with the State Vaccine Equity Task Force has also helped make this goal possible. And we took innovative approaches to reach every resident in the county. Our county vaccine equity team's canvassing program went door to door and met our residents where they were, reaching neighborhoods that face barriers to vaccine access and fighting misinformation that led to vaccine hesitancy. And we continue to do that. Our residents responded to these efforts by reaching the 70% vaccination rate goal by July 4th, ahead of many other areas in the nation. And our vaccination efforts among the Latino population have also been strong in relation to our jurisdictions. It's a county that had was significantly impacted by this virus. So we've made significant progress in our fight against the pandemic, and I'm proud of our efforts, but please understand this. COVID-19 is still present in our community. We've done so well, but we still have a lot of work to do. We know that the best way to defeat the virus is to get vaccinated. Let me repeat that. We know that the best way to defeat this virus is to get vaccinated. So I'm asking our community to please continue to do your part. These vaccines are safe and they're effective in reducing the spread of COVID-19. They help keep us safe. They protect us on an individual level, but at the same time, helping us protect the ones we love. And with every resident that gets this vaccine, we are one step closer to putting this pandemic behind us for good. As we prepare for the coming school year, I know our children are excited and ready to go. I know I was. I used to love to get my little crayon box. Our school CEO, Monica Goldson, has worked hard to make sure our children are safe while prioritizing their education, and our teachers have been such an important part of the process. We have back-to-school immunizations, including COVID-19 vaccines available from the county health department at Cheverly Health Center and at the county's 4 school-based wellness centers, so please take advantage of this. Residents have the opportunity to get vaccinated here at the summit, and there are also many pharmacies, mobile clinics, and other locations you can visit to get vaccinated, including your own doctor. If you have not yet done so, please take advantage of just one of these opportunities to be proud, to be protected against this virus. Thank you again, and have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Ernest Carter. And again, thank you to Lieutenant Governor Rutherford and, Dr. Demetrius Johnson and Dr. Goldson for your words of encouragement and your support into the new school year. At this time, I would like you all to please help me introduce and welcome the leader of the Equity Task Force, and now I can say as a friend of mine, Brigadier General Janine Burkett.
Thank you. So good morning. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, Dr. Carter, Dr. Goldson, Dr. Johnson. Thank you, my friend Sydney, for being here. And I also want to recognize also some of our special guests we have in the audience. We have a few of our local legislators here with us today. Absolutely, I see Dr. Thank you. Would you stand, please? Thank you, Dr. Winnie. Thank you. We also have in the stadium, since we're in a football stadium, we also have a former NFL player with us. Derek Finner, if you stand up, you recognize. Thank you. So we realized today that certainly it was an all-love community effort and celebrating back to school. And that's why we thought it was important to bring people together in this venue with our Washington team, who has absolutely been supportive throughout this pandemic effort. And I just want to recognize Ian for his efforts. I think he's out there somewhere. Thank you, Ian, for all your support, and to the Washington family. So it was about 164 days ago that I stood at a podium with the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor at a press conference, mask on, socially distanced, and uttered the words, Vaccine Equity Task Force. Like, ooh, what does that mean? I don't know. But at that point, I went on to say that the task force is going to work hard to ensure we meet community leaders we have here today, groups. Dr. Khan, thank you for all you do. Working very hard in communities that are hard to reach. Health Department, Dr. Abney, I see you out there somewhere. Charles County, thank you for coming. And the citizens, and that's, we brought you all together here today. The Equity Task Force is out every day connecting with the community and understanding needs to get shots in arms. And the bottom line for our effort is to be transparent and to achieve what the governor asked us to do, which is to break down barriers, expand access to the COVID-19 vaccine, and to save lives in vulnerable and hard-to-reach communities. To that end, the Vaccine Equity Task Force, working with all of you, have done a yeoman's job. We have completed over 1,000 missions, more than 150,000 shots in arms. We rank 6th overall in the country for the percentage of population vaccinated. And I believe the Equity Task Force helped to make that significant step and where we are in Maryland, but we cannot declare success yet. We must ensure that our youth, people 12 to 24, are uplifted and focused on getting the vaccine. And that's why we're here today with you. The mission is not over, and the virus continues to impact each and every one of us. So we must do our part to end COVID together. That's why today is so important. When I say together, I mean together. Thank you, Prince George's County. Thank you. Thank you for the entire team in the health department in Prince George's County of being innovative with us and working with us. When I say together, I mean together. Those partnerships in the communities where we make it happen. The ground game is not possible without being in the community. Did you get my analogy, Lieutenant Governor? The ground game is not possible, right? You have to be in the community. So thank you. To all distinguished guests and speakers, thank you for being here, ensuring the success of this summit. When we work together, it is possible. Now more than ever, it's time to do our part. Don't miss the opportunity to protect yourself or your loved one or your community. Educate yourself with credible sources. Credible sources. Stay informed and follow the safety guidelines. That's not one of mine. I think that's one of yours. Yeah. Follow the safety guidelines and prevent the spread of COVID-19. Encourage others to do the same. Thanks to my green team that's out there. Thank you so much. Take this public opportunity to thank them too. The Maryland Department of Health will continue operations as the Vaccine Equity Task Force in its current state and with the National Guard draws down by September 4th. But I assure you that the team is ready to pick it up and continue to run. And today, we actually have all 3 vaccines here today. So if Johnson & Johnson is not your thing, then we have Moderna for you or Pfizer. So take your pick, right? Get vaccinated. Be that trusted voice of encouragement in your community, and equity matters. Thank you.